And breaking news this morning, President Biden will address the nation from Washington tonight. After returning home from Israel, the president pledging that he will support Israel, but promising humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza and the West Bank as well. Back here at home, protests breaking out on Capitol Hill yesterday as demonstrators demand a Gaza ceasefire. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister posting a warning to Israel on X, writing this: "Time is up." Kaylee McGee-White, your reaction?
Well, I think that it's good that Biden is addressing the country on this, and I do want to say that he has handled it pretty admirably so far. But the humanitarian aid to the West Bank and Gaza, is a big red line that no American should support. There is no way that the United States can guarantee that that money is not going to go directly into Hamas's coffers. And Biden can make whatever promises he wants that he's going to put on the guardrails and he's going to be monitoring it. But we know how this works. We know how it works with Ukraine. We know how it works with Israel. There's no way for the U.S. to seriously monitor where our funds are going and how they're being used. It's a big red line. Americans should not support it.
Yeah, it's interesting as you know, we learned that it was actually the Palestinians who bombed that hospital. I mean, you know, it's amazing to me that he's even talking about this aid, but that's where this is going. Yeah.
Yes, all of the aid must be contingent on getting those civilians that want to declare themselves as civilians and non-combatants through the Rafah crossing into Egypt. But of course, Palestine doesn't want that. Neither does Egypt. This is where Biden must use the power of the purse, not just in terms of the $1 billion in aid that we give to Egypt every year, including an extra $250 million that Biden specifically released after the Trump administration held it for 3 years.
Yeah, that's right.
On top of that, use the IMF. Use the fact that Egypt has a 38% inflation rate. Use the fact that they need foreign aid. Say, if you don't want to play ball, okay, then you can just turn your money printer back on. Well, if you don't want to accept these refugees.
But also, any aid the U.S. sends to Palestine, whether in the West Bank or in Gaza, should be completely contingent on the return of all hostages.
Yes, right.
And the fact that Biden has not clearly stipulated that is a problem.
I don't understand why he's not talking about these hostages. Yeah. You need something in order to give that money.
Well, it's lost in all the ceasefire declarations, right?
Exactly.
Obviously, Biden is luckily bucking the far left of his party, right?
Yeah.
But they are both too silent on the hostages, because that really should be order number one: release the hostages, and everything else can come later. And look, Israel is able to ride this thing out. You know, they turned on limited water back on in southern Gaza because they want to get people away from the border so they can start doing more of these airstrikes, which is crucial. But Gaza, it does not have a self-sustaining economy. The blockade, which people are now discovering, was not really anything more than a weapons blockade of the last 16 years.
Yeah.
Right? This real blockade, all they're doing is riding them out. Eventually, Gaza will have to bend to Israel in some capacity.
Yeah, Mark.
You know, if we just kind of take a step back and look at this whole situation more broadly, here's where I think we've screwed up. We have believed for years now that we know our adversaries, that we know our enemies, and that because we value life and freedom, that everybody else does too.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
No,
they value the afterlife. I mean, there's videos of school-age Palestinians saying they want to grow up and become suicide bombers. That is their goal. They want to eliminate the Jews, and they don't care about life. So we have mistakenly assumed that everybody loves freedom.
Yeah.
Then with this administration and all the progressive policies coming out of D.C., we now mistakenly believe that everyone cares about climate change first and foremost. Everyone cares about pronouns, sex changes.
Right.
That is not the case anywhere in the world except for right here. And we've taken our eye off the ball, and we've completely missed the mark as it relates to what is really important and knowing what our adversaries value.
That's such a good point. So during his trip back to Washington, the president told reporters that Palestinians have to learn how to shoot straight. Can you imagine this quote? This statement made just one day after the Gaza hospital blast that killed upwards of 500 people. Watch this.
I'm not suggesting that Hamas deliberately did it either. It's that old thing, got to learn how to shoot straight. It's not the first time Hamas has launched something that didn't function very well. So I don't know all the detail, but I do know the people at the Defense Department, who I respect, and the intelligence community that I respect. it's highly improbable that Israel did that.
My God, what a thing to say.
This isn't a video
They
game.
have to learn how to shoot straight.
This isn't a video game. This is real life. Real civilians, innocent civilians have been dying.
I cannot believe he said that.
It never made sense, the idea that Israel would wait more than 10 days before launching their ground assault just to give time for civilians to evacuate, for them to all of a sudden bomb a hospital. It always was most likely that it was Hamas. Always. Well, who hides their warfare behind civilians?
Unbelievable.
Hamas does. Israel doesn't.
The problem that I also have with some of the comments that Biden made over the past couple of days is these reports that he's actively discouraging Israel from launching a ground invasion into Gaza and trying to delay the inevitable. No. There needs to be one clear objective here. Hamas needs to be wiped out and destroyed using any means necessary, and Israel should not let our bumbling president get in the way of that goal.
Well, don't you think that was the point of his trip, though?
Yeah.
Come on.
Bought some time. That's why Blinken met with them for, 8 hours? And then says, okay, don't do anything until Joe Biden comes.
Yeah.
And then Joe Biden gets screwed over by the Jordanians.
Unbelievable.